You ready for this?
Dun, 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 dun.
Episode 17, season
Episode
one.
17.
The season ender
The season ender.
with a 3 month gap in between.
I know. Oh, that's so bad. That's so
Oh
bad.
man. Crazy.
Should we get going?
Let's do it, man.
All right. Can
Let's
you hear
let's
me all
talk
right?
let's talk to the people. Yes,
Let's
sir.
talk to the people. What's up, y'all? Ambitious minds. We are back after a 3 month, 90-day hiatus.
Listen, man, we were just making sure we were sharp. We were gonna be good for 2022. That's all it was.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. No, but we do want to, definitely apologize for the wait, y'all. Thank you for those that reached out and wanted this back. We are happy to be back. We're so excited to be back right now, and thank you for all those that reached out. For those that were just like, "Hey, when the next video dropping?" and super excited to be back. Missed you, BD.
Yes. Man, you too, man. It's gonna be fun. No, and honestly, 2022 is gonna be so much better. Like we were just talking, like each and every year it's gonna get better and better. And so I mean it's the whole reason why we kept falling off here and there is just for one, life gets in the way, but
Yeah,
we also didn't have like our routines in place either, built around this. And I think now we've, after talking, it's going to be so much better going into the new year. We already know what we're going to be doing. It's a little more organized already. It's going to be good.
for sure. And that's the thing about starting, right? The thing is to start, and everything isn't perfect when you always start. But the goal is just to go ahead and get started and figure out some things from there. And like I
Mhm.
said, super excited for next year and what we have coming. So it'll be good.
Exactly.
It'll
Just
be
wait till
good.
we're on season like 10 and we're looking back on season one. It's like, man,
Exactly.
I remember when we fell off for 3 months. Oh man. So I guess let's catch up, man. Let's, end this year out with like what's been going on the last 3 months and then like what is our game plan for 2022 and what's ambitious minds gonna look like.
Yeah, for sure, man. Well, past 3 months, man. It's been interesting these past 3 months. A lot of learning on my end, and it's been weird business wise because although things have been slowing down for me, I always tell people it's always goes this way. Is that it's a blessing and a curse, right? It's a blessing that it's slowing down, so therefore I'm able to get more things done, uh, able to get some more projects completed, and work on some development things for some of my leaders. So that's always super cool. The downside to that, when business is slow, depending on what kind of business that you're in, right? When business is slow, that means no extra cash flow coming in. So
Mhm.
that's always an interesting factor when it comes to it. And so, the biggest thing that I've been trying to focus on lately is just trying to take advantage of that slow time. What
Yeah.
can I build with that slow time? And it's been interesting, man. Over these last 3 months, actually got a chance to do some leadership trainings. You're very familiar with internal leadership, and so we did internal leadership for Smoothie King, which has been super cool. Just to be able to dive back into that, man, dive into the 5 levels of leadership, and just give people an introduction to what leadership is and what it looks like in real life. So that's probably been the biggest highlight for me. Probably these, business wise, this last 3 months, and then personally, man, just watching Emery grow, man, it's super crazy. She turned 3 at the beginning of the month, so it was just super wild just to see her vocabulary. I think that's the thing that impresses me the most, right? It's
Mhm.
just the vocabulary. It's just like, you literally, I can come home one day, she knows a new word, come home the next day, and now she's using that word in a sentence. And then she has some other words she wants to throw on top of that. And uh, super weird. And, just how she puts her sentences together is the coolest thing in the world because she's learning. It's also funny, like, one of her things to say right now is, you crack me up. And it's like, and it's something to where it's like serious. It's just like you crack me up, and it's like part of it is like, is she really, is she really getting some laughter out of this,
Yeah,
or does she not understand what she's saying? And so, um, man, it's super cool, man, super
that's
cool.
so
But
funny.
that's kind of what these past 3 months been looking like, man. Just I will say, have not been as productive as I want to be, and that's something that I've actually been learning a lot. My leadership coach, something I've been working on. I'm trying to find a sheet. Um, Something that I've been working on is he told me this upcoming year, is going to be a breakout year for me, right? And typically, what do you think of B when you hear the word breakout?
Yeah, I'd think of like you're breaking through any glass ceilings that you've been restricted by recently, like exceeding anything that you've been doing that you've kind of plateaued at. You know what I mean?
Exactly, right? So, everybody thinks about, hey, this is going to be like your year, type
Hmm.
of deal and everything like that. And he was like, I want you to think about it a little differently. He said, I want you to think about where are some places that you've self imprisoned yourself? Where have you lied to yourself? Right. And, this year is going to be a breakthrough year, as and you're going to break through some of those things, as and some of those realizations are going to start to come and things like that. So that's been a heavy piece I've been working on probably for the past week. Is really diving into that and really trying to prepare my year for that. Just as in, what are certain things I've been lying to myself on?
Hmm.
What are certain things that have truly been holding me back, and not just and not the simple stuff where it's just like, oh, well, I just haven't, been, spending enough time on business stuff, right? And it's like, okay, cool. Like, what does that mean? What does that look like?
Right.
Right. And then what lies have I told myself within that? Have I been telling myself I don't have time?
Hmm.
Right. Because I've been under the weather lately and been having plenty of time. And most of that time has been spending watching Marvel and Hulu. So it's like, all right, now that you got the time, what you been doing with it, right? So
Hmm.
yeah, man. So it's been an interesting time, but like I said, I'm excited to be back, man. I need this, so definitely excited to be back. But what's been going on your way?
You and me both, man. I feel the same way. It's funny you said Marvel because Emily never watched the Marvel movies, so we just are going through the phases now, watching them all in the order, and we're like halfway through them all now. So it's funny because we've been doing the same thing. Uh, man, last 3 months, so I'd say professionally and personally, there's been a lot of changes for sure. So professionally, real estate's been a blast, man. I know we've talked about it multiple times on the podcast already, but these last 3 months have been really busy, surprisingly, especially wrapping up the year. So I exceeded my. It's kind of weird because at the beginning of the year, I had my goal. I wanted to close over 3 million in volume for my
Yeah,
first year. But then as I realized I was going to surpass that, I set a new goal of I wanted to sell at least 5 million in volume for my first year. And as of right now, I'm going to close the year out at about 4.7 million in volume. So
yeah,
I'm just shy of
yeah.
my updated goal. So that's
Hey,
exciting,
if
man.
somebody need a crib, we got
Boy.
we got a smooth 8 days to
Man,
make sure that
exactly.
we make
Right.
this
Listen,
come.
it needs to be all cash. We've got to be at least 300,000. So if you know anybody, you give me a ring. But
Yeah,
no, man, it's been so fun. It's been so rewarding. Like, I just got a Christmas card from a previous client the other day, and just reading like the little note that they left in there because they had quite the process of home buying, and we stuck it out though. We made it to the end, and just reading that note from them is like it makes it all worth it. Like that's why
yeah,
you do it. Um, so it's been fun, man. And then on top of that, like not just personal goals list, just some of the things that I've been wanting to do is like a brokerage and starting to implement some new things, and it's been really exciting. So starting like a new Monday morning memo. We're
yeah,
calling it our Monday morning kickstart, our MMK every Monday, and developing like a memo for all of our agents for that, and just trying to be more collaborative and just try and take some of the things that worked in Planet that worked so well, and that communication aspect that we always had, and how can we implement it into some different industries. And I'm excited, man. I'm excited to trial and error, and
yeah,
see how it goes. And get some good feedback. So that'll be starting January 3rd.
Okay.
So we'll keep posting. And then personally, shoot, man, I'm engaged.
No, crazy.
Lots of changes, man. So,
Yeah.
yeah, proposed to Emily. Um,
Congrats,
Man,
man.
yeah, lots going on. Thank you. So we went over to Ohio, Hocking Hills area, and did some horseback riding. Proposed on a horseback. I didn't drop the ring. Everything was good. But it was beautiful. It was a lot of fun. So now we're planning a wedding. Just booked our venue. So we're getting things rolling. September of next year. So we got about 9 months. So,
Mm.
oh, got a call. Hold on. Better throw on do not disturb. Amateur
I think
mistake.
I
Look at
think we
me.
should I think we should do an episode on your wedding day.
Oh, absolutely.
Right before you go
Priorities,
down
man.
right before you go down the aisle.
Right. Oh shoot.
Yeah.
At our venue there's a little room that's like, you can get ready in and stuff, and it's got a little key card so everybody can't get in. We'll just set up right in there, shoot a little episode, walk down the aisle, bada bing, bada boom. It's a good day. But no, man, it's been good. And then similar, like what you said with Emery, we've got two little ones at home too, and
Yeah.
Sawyer's 3. And even just like the last 3 months, like in the course of a month, how much they grow in just a month is just nuts. It's funny you said like you're cracking me up as her thing lately. Sawyer's has been, are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me right now? It's so funny. Is that like you said, I don't even know if she knows really what she's
What
saying.
that means,
So
yeah.
it's hilarious. So yeah, man, it's been good. It's been good. It's been a good 3 months for sure. But like you said, though, too, it's not been nearly as productive like at home as I would have liked to be, as like
Yeah.
what I've been used to, and been trying to give myself a little bit of grace and just be like, you know what, especially this month because it's been so slow. It's like, it's the holidays. We're gonna get ready to go. Like, how am I utilizing this downtime though to make sure that I can be jump started for 2022? So yeah, that's where we're at now.
Yeah, man. Hey, real quick, how do you balance that? Because that's even while I've been um these past couple of weeks, like I said, when I kind of been under the weather, like I think that's been super hard for me. And one of the lies I've been telling myself is that I got to get everything done, right? And so the hard part for me is if my day isn't like jam packed with
Mm-hmm.
like stuff I have to accomplish, right? I feel like I didn't accomplish much,
Right.
right? How do you pick your two or three things that are just like, hey, these are I have to have these done today, get these done, even if they technically don't have to be done, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think the hard part for me is I have some stuff that have timelines, right? But then there's a good amount of stuff that doesn't have a timeline.
Right.
And I think those are the things I struggle with because then I end up putting it all on one timeline.
Exactly. No, I think for me, what's worked though, man, because I know exactly what you're talking about. I mean, a lot of things in real estate are like that because you don't have a schedule. It's whatever
Yeah.
you want. You know what I'm saying? So it's just shifting that mindset though to there isn't a timeline to if I say there is a timeline, now there's a timeline. So if I say I need to call client X, Y, and Z by this date, then I have to call client X, Y, and Z by that date.
Yeah.
And if I don't, then I'm my own worst critic anyway. And like I hold myself accountable to that. Uh, but and I don't know if this is really along the same lines as your question, but one thing that I was really struggling with too, though, is I would be productive, but not in the like real estate sense. You're not in like the work sense, but I
Mm-hmm.
would be productive at home. Like we're remodeling our basement right now. So I'll go to work and then I'll go home the other half of the day and I'll be home the whole day, but I'm working in the basement. And I would like end my day and I'd be like, man, like I didn't do anything today.
Yep.
Like I still got so many phone calls to make, but then I had to stop and be like, okay, true for real estate, but look at how much you accomplished downstairs. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So it's like that's productive too. So then it's like give yourself some grace. You can't do every single thing in one day. You only got so many hours, but it's just okay. So if you're going to work in real estate that morning, you need to have a cutoff and, figure out what do you need to do before that cutoff because your days are jam packed.
Yeah.
So, it's not easy though. It's not easy because it still bugs me. So I'm like, oh shoot, I still got people to call.
For sure. For sure, man. For sure. Hey man, so let's share with the people some, we talked a good amount. I mean, we've been talking over the past couple of weeks a little bit, but today, where we kind of talk about, what can they expect from us next year. So
Yeah.
uh I think the biggest thing that we're changing up for next year is we're going to be dropping episodes every other week. And one, I think it's going to allow us to make sure that we're staying consistent. All right, I know that's something that we talked about big. And then two, give us an opportunity to be a little more engaged beyond just the videos, right? That we drop, the episodes that we drop allow us to be a little more engaged, whether that be on social media or different aspects of different aspects. But yeah, man, you want to share some other things that we're talking about that we're
Yeah,
gonna
no, for
focus on
sure.
next year?
Definitely. I think like we talked, there's always going to be the things that are consistent. The leadership development will always talk about the entrepreneurship, the business, acumen stuff, the real estate, and then your self-development, personal development content, that you're putting out. Those things are always going to be us. I mean, that's why we started this, because that's who we are. That's, what we'd be talking about either way, whether we were
Yeah,
recording it or not. Um, and then honestly, I think Eris and I both agree that we're open to suggestions too. If there's anything that anybody, would like to hear or any questions, let's go over those together too. But I know we really want to be more intentional about getting some guest speakers on here. I think this whole thing is about adding value. Um, I won't give too much away, but just some of the guest speakers that we probably thought about last year. They wanted to wait until we were being a little more consistent to actually get
yeah,
it scheduled, and then some new contacts, some new people that we've met over the course of this year that I think would be great guest speakers for us next year. So I think it'll be good in terms of content. It'll be similar to kind of what we've been getting, but at a more thought out level because we're taking the time in between each episode.
yeah,
And like Eris mentioned, the off weeks gives us a chance to do like some live videos on Instagram to be more engaged and interactive. Let's do some Q&As. They won't be like the traditional, record episode
yeah,
like what we've been doing, but it'll still be content that we're putting out each week, just in different ways. Because we were talking, the whole reason we did this was to bring people with us. And I feel like when we're doing weekly episodes, we lose the opportunity to actually make that a core of what we're doing.
yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. We've been adopting this every other week style, this bi-weekly style, even at work a lot lately, because with some of our meetings, right? Like I'm about to do this with my team on our weekly meetings. Is sometimes you lose the specialness,
Mm-hmm.
that you have when you do things so often.
Right.
And we noticed that with some of our meetings, it's just like everybody's on there and it's just like, hey, all right,
Mm-hmm.
oh, we know we're about to go over numbers, and then we're going to talk about the book that we're all reading, and it's just like, okay, cool. Like, how do we break that up? How do we build some excitement? Because doesn't mean that you can't communicate in between then. And so now what we'll be doing is trying to engage more via social media.
Right.
But for me, it's like, okay, now I'm gonna engage more in my group meet, or I'm gonna engage more with sending out weekly updates and make sure those are fun and interactive, right? So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, man. So I think it's gonna be interesting. And the biggest ask from us, y'all, is that y'all just be engaged with us. Share what you all want to hear. Topics that you guys want to discuss, things like that. We would love to do like some live Q&As as well. give you a precursor to that right now. We don't have all the answers. Uh, but one, we'd love just talking through things with people, and then as well as I think that's the cool part I love about me and UB is that we always meet new people,
Mhm.
and we're constantly building on what I like to call like your resource Rolodex, right? Constantly just putting people in those resources. So super excited for that too.
Definitely. I agree, man. I'm sure we both have things upcoming for next year too that's going to be pouring into us that we can in turn bring back and, pour into others with. I know in March next year, we have our fuel conference coming up in Nashville for ERA. So we'll be
Yeah.
getting content from that. It's like a 3 day event, down in Tennessee. So that'll be a good time. And I'm excited to, get some more of this content, bring it back. How can you apply it to other industries? And, it'll be fun.
I just want to come to Tennessee, so I'll just come and just
Oh, dude, please do. For
chill three
real. I'll send
days.
you the ticket info.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Hey yo, check this out. Any major goals for you personally that you're looking at attacking next year, or just even if they're work related, any major things that you're looking at next year?
Oh man, I want to come back to this on a deeper level. Maybe our next episode too, like to start out the new year. Cause
Yeah.
one thing I do every year is I sit down, I do like, what am I doing list every single
Yeah.
year. It's on my Google Drive. And it's funny because I keep adding one every year. So this year it'll be 22 items on there that, what am
Okay.
I doing? But I can touch on the big things that I know for sure are going to be more big picture goals for me for next year. And uh, professionally, and I know a lot of people say this, but I'd like to double my sales volume. I
Mm-hmm.
would like to, have 8 million plus in sales volume for next year. I think that's really attainable, especially after, kind of seeing and having an idea of how year one went. Um, so I think that's going to be good, but there's going to be other goals that kind of branch off of that too that I'll have to be more specific with, but that's a big one. And then personally, man, like obviously planning the wedding, so it's going to be getting married next year.
Yeah.
And then what would it be? It would be August of next year. We'll probably be prepping to sell our current house, and we'll
All
be
right.
house shopping again end of next year. So yeah, dude. So it'll be lots of changes, especially towards the end of next year. It'll really start to get exciting for some of the personal things that we're looking to do. So those are the big ones, man. But what about you?
So work wise, professional wise, a couple of things. Next year is going to be a big year for me to really buckle down on the leadership company. Start to put together a team of who I want to do things with, and how do I actually approach this industry? Because one thing that I struggle with big time is marketing myself. Because I'm the person where I'm like, I'm just gonna get asked to speak places, and it's like that's not how that works. You gotta put out some product and allow people to digest it and see what they do with it, and then from there, kind of see where it goes. So that's going to be a big part of next year. There's something I've been working on in the past. Actually, yesterday I spent a good amount of time working on it, but so that's going to be a good amount of it, especially working on content, things like that, because just how me and you were talking earlier. I think there's a difference when you put together content and you have things readily available for people to use as resources. I think that's key.
Mhm.
So really been trying to work on that. So that's going to be big. And then for a professional smoothie king wise, we definitely have some stores that we're trying to open up next year. So and Lord willing, to a couple of them be in my area, so that'd be nice because I haven't opened up a new store in a minute. But being able to open up a new store as well as give some new leaders some opportunities to really show what they're made of, so
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
especially close to home like that, man. That'll be awesome.
I know, right? I hope we get some close to home. That'd be nice. So, and then personally, man, besides the leadership company, honestly, man, I'm trying to take a deeper look at my health. Been having a lot of conversations with different people, my family and everything, man, and just it's a lot of health issues, man. And my thought on health before was, just lose a whole bunch of weight, try to be as skinny as possible, and it's like one, yes, I'm still that's still trying to trying to lose a good amount of weight, but beyond that, it's more so just trying to make sure that I'm being healthy.
Mhm.
So yeah, so that's going to be a big focus, and then Emery possibly going to school next year. Trying to get her into some school, and then us possibly trying to do some moving as well, man. So
Mhm.
it's just a lot that 2022 is going to be, but I'm excited for it, man. Super excited
Yeah,
for it.
absolutely. Yeah, we'll have to talk more about that too. I know that's something Emily and I have been talking about because we homeschool right now.
Yeah.
And it's like, what does this look like in the long term, especially once both of them are in school? It's like,
Yep.
it's really, it's a lot of change, man. A lot
Yeah.
of change. So it'll be good. Yeah, I'm excited to work through it together. That'll be fun.
Yeah, man. Good, man. Good. Well, hey, man, how you want to wrap up today? What you got for the people?
Man, thank you for sticking with us. Over
Yes,
these
yes, yes.
last 3 months, we're putting things in place so that doesn't happen again. This is something we enjoy, and it's disappointing when we don't get content out. And I know it's disappointing for me personally, and like on a selfish level, because then I don't get time with ET over here
I
neither.
know, right?
So, no, man, this is gonna be good. Good way to wrap up. 2021. Getting things in place for 2022. I'm excited. It's gonna be good. I'm excited to be more engaged with everybody that's listening too.
Yeah. Yeah, good stuff, y'all. Hey, y'all, I ain't got nothing else to say, but we back.
Way back, baby. Ambitious
uh,
minds.
peace.